This session will be discussing FMLA. FMLA stands for Family Medical Leave Act. I'm sure this may sound a little familiar to you. Maybe you've taken FMLA in the past, or you may even know someone who has benefited from the Family Medical Leave Act. This session will serve as a high-level overview that explains what FMLA is, when it is appropriate to apply, and what FMLA provides. FMLA provides job protection for up to 12 weeks or 60 days of absence for an employee that needs to be out of work for their own serious illness or to care for a family member who is ill. It also provides job protection for time off due to the birth of a baby or adoption of a child. This includes the time that it is medically necessary for the mom to be out for childbirth. FMLA also covers the remaining portion of the 12 weeks to be used for baby bonding. Baby bonding can be used for mom or for dad. There are additional provisions for active duty military members, and we won't go into that here, but should that need arise, please contact Human Resources. There is often confusion about the purpose of FMLA. As stated earlier, it provides job protection. It does not provide pay. In order for you to be paid while you are out on FMLA, you must use your sick leave or your vacation time to be paid. FMLA does not provide short-term disability payments. However, employees who are out on FMLA may also qualify for short-term disability, but it's important to note that short-term disability is separate and is not provided by FMLA. FMLA does not provide protection from performance or disciplinary actions. Your supervisor should discuss with you any performance or disciplinary concerns they have with your work. FMLA does not prevent supervisors from having these conversations with you or from taking the appropriate action as they normally would. By law, in order to be eligible to receive FMLA, you must be a full-time employee, employed for 1 full year, and have worked a minimum of 1,250 hours. However, we don't follow this to the letter. This is because we have positions such as bus drivers who are contracted for 180 days and 6.5 hours per day. This position would not meet the 1,250 hour FMLA requirement. However, we still provide them with FMLA. There are 2 ways to utilize FMLA. Continuous is what we think of the most often. Continuous FMLA occurs when you are out for more than 3 consecutive days for a medical reason. If this happens, you may need to apply for FMLA. With continuous FMLA, you would continue to be out every day until you have a release to return to work note from your doctor, or you no longer need to be out with a family member. Intermittent FMLA is permitted when you may not need to be out every day, but you have ongoing and reoccurring absences for an FMLA qualified reason. Some examples of this are, you need to be out 1 day per week for chemo treatment, or you may need to be out to take a family member to their doctor's appointment 3 times per month, or you may even have a chronic health condition that flares up requiring you to be absent, but the absences are not predictable. When these absences occur, you need to identify the absence as an FMLA day. Human Resources needs to be notified that you have used an FMLA day for tracking and counting the days. Please note that you may not identify an absence as an FMLA day if it is not related to the condition that has qualified you for FMLA. For example, if you get the flu or you call out for a headache, but your intermittent FMLA is to take your mom to her doctor's appointments, you may not identify this day as FMLA. When you know you are going to be out, it is your responsibility to notify your supervisor. If you are in need of FMLA, it is your responsibility to provide a completed FMLA application along with a doctor's certification to Human Resources. The doctor's certification confirms that there is a medical need for you to be out, when the absences are expected to begin, and when the medical condition is expected to end. While you are out on FMLA, you should also maintain communication with your supervisor. If you need to be out longer than expected, we ask that you notify your supervisor as well as human resources. Please note that before returning to work, you must provide a release to return to work note to human resources. Sometimes these notes will include physical restrictions. Human resources and a supervisor will make a determination about whether the restrictions can be accommodated. So what happens when the FMLA runs out and you are still not able to return to work? If you are out for your own medical condition, you will be notified that you are eligible for a medical leave of absence. If at some point during the leave of absence you are able to return to work, you must provide a release to return to work note from the doctor, and you may be asked to reapply for your position.